Is there nothing about the way this market has responded to those earnings, which, as you say, have been absolutely terrible? Is there nothing about how this market has responded to them that offers you maybe a bit of a challenge to this bearish view?
Well, absolutely. I mean, no one respects the market price more than I do, John. You know that. If you don't, you're destined to lose money. But I would suggest that remind listeners that that's what happened the last two quarters, right? We had stocks sell off into the quarter, and then the numbers were bad, and then the stocks rallied on that. So, and then of course we made new lows. So I don't think you can conclude anything if you don't have evidence that you think this is actually the trough rate of change. And we don't have that evidence. And in fact, we have analysis that would suggest that the trough rate of change is not here yet, that we have several more quarters of this, further disappointment, and we think that that disappointment could actually accelerate in the first quarter of this year.
Let's pick up on that. We've had earnings from the banks. Tech's still coming in. Can you talk to me about where you think reality might bite on the calendar? You mentioned a period there, Mike. Where do you think reality does bite?
Well, look, for us, as you know, John, it all comes down to profitability. We think that the pandemic and the recession and recovery that ensued led to this incredible incremental positive operating leverage environment driven by higher inflation. And now inflation is coming down faster than costs are coming down. And that mismatch is leading to significant negative operating leverage. We think investors, at least investors we talk to, and we talk to probably more investors than anybody in the world, we think that that feature is either underappreciated or misunderstood. We also think that that feature is misunderstood by companies, because not only have investors never seen this kind of an environment, but most CEOs have not seen this environment unless they've been a CEO for 30 or 40 years, which that's not many of them. And so I just think that this is a unique period in history. I think people are going to be surprised on the downside here on the profitability, just like they were surprised on the upside. Okay, let's go back 2 years ago when we were the raging bulls on earnings, saying that operating leverage was going to surprise on the upside. Nobody saw it. I mean, in fact, it exceeded our expectations too. But we saw this incredible positive revision story because companies kept underestimating that positive operating leverage. And we think it's the exact opposite now. And it's just going to be a drip, drip, drip until they finally capitulate and say, you know what, we don't know what's going on. Let's just slash the numbers and let's make this our final cut. And we're not there yet.